On December 15th, 2011, LAUSD Superintendent Deasy sent a budget to the LA County Office of Education that effectively eliminates many adult education programs and severely reduces regional occupational centers and programs for the 2012 to 2013 school year. In Deasy's own words,
there are many components to adult ed, so one of the things is that they help serve students who have been unsuccessful in traditional K-12. That's critical, it's absolutely necessary. And then they also expand opportunities for people who have left education and coming back in. We know that there are career building programs, et cetera, et cetera. The dilemma we have is not that it's not valued, is that it's not funded. The question, of course, then has to be, with the little resources you have, the fundamental role is K-12 that I'm responsible for, and we have desired to have extended, so adult and early childhood, and there's going to be a lot of pressure in this year's budget.
Is it possible you'd have to close those adult education programs?
I think we're going to see programs across LAUSD recommended unless we have an additional source of revenue for closure pre-K to adult.
Wow, devastating.
Of course.
Superintendent Deasy believes that we cannot afford adult and career education in Los Angeles,
given the current budget crisis in LAUSD.
Is he right? Well, let's consider a few facts.
Until 2009, when the state granted school districts in California the ability to utilize categorical funds in their budgets, the Division of Adult and Career Education, or DACE, generated its own funds and was self-sustaining. In simple terms, money that was earned by adult and career programs was taken and applied to regular K-12 education to compensate for Sacramento's squandering and fiscal mismanagement. DACE, on the other hand, never encroached on the district's general funds, even while its money was being drained away by the state to cover up for Sacramento's financial shortcomings. And still, it wasn't enough to fill Sacramento's ever-empty coffers. In spite of the already crippling financial strain that adult and career education has had to face at the hands of the state, DACE has managed to provide critically needed basic education and career training for the community, and all the while facing the threat of constant closure by the district, which performs routine assessments of the already severely limited DACE programs. Imagine taking all of a carpenter's tools from his work belt and expecting him to build a house to his usual standards. And yet, the DACE teachers and administrators have done just that, exceeding all expectations and advancing the educations of both youths and adults alike in spite of dwindling resources.
Approximately 40% of all high school students partake in adult education classes to satisfy high school diploma requirements. During the 2010-2011 school year, over 88,000 high school students partook in DACE programs to make up credits and earn a diploma. Over 51,000 took ROP, Regional Occupational Programs, and many former dropouts managed to graduate with the help of DACE programs. In other words, there's an absolute certainty that high school dropout rates will skyrocket if adult and career education is eliminated, and the price of attending to these neglected high schoolers would increase the general fund at a higher per capita cost, meaning there will be fewer candidates for college, fewer skilled workers and laborers for work. Bottom line, a financial, educational, and political debacle in Los Angeles.
50% of DACE student bodies comprised of K-12 students who are models for their children. In fact, during 2010 through 2011, over 58,000 parents took DACE courses. ROC/P programs provide career employment training to many of other secondary students and adults, creating a climate of job creation at a time when California specifically needs urgent economic recovery measures.
If DACE programs are removed, an astronomical number of parents, young adults, teachers, and administrators will be forced to go on unemployment, adding to the state's mounting debt. Fewer working citizens means less taxable income into the system for California. Moreover, the rise in financially strained families will lead to less purchasing power and therefore less stimulation of the economy.
Adult classes provide a pathway to citizenship and are an integral part of immigration reform.
So let's recap here. Is it right to remove these programs?
Is it right to remove these programs?
Is it the wisest choice? Superintendent Deasy, the fiscal facts are unmistakable. We cannot afford to eliminate adult and career education in Los Angeles.
Wisen up, Sacramento, and wake up. If you want to make cuts, don't do it at the expense of our future.